In this video, we are going to cover how a daily team huddle works. The key is with this huddle, how can we set up the people in the field for success? How can the office side, and there really shouldn't be two sides, but how can the office side or the office team support flow in the field? And how do we get rid of any possible duplication of efforts or a failure to focus on the priorities so that the team can be really successful and integrate and support each other in a remarkable way? That's what we're going to talk about in this video, so stay with us. All right, so here's the vision for the morning team huddle, or what I call the daily team huddle. When your foremen and superintendents are planning the day after in their daily foreman huddles, and then the next day when we perform what's called the worker huddle, the morning worker huddle, now we have two times when we have gathered roadblocks and problems from the foreman and the workers, and now that needs to be looped in to our daily team huddle so that we can remove those roadblocks and support the people in the field. So this is a natural part of our meeting system. And the purpose of it is to gather the project manager, the project engineers, superintendent, field engineers, anyone else who's on the project site that needs to huddle as a part of that core management team, and to really make sure that everyone is working together in unison to remove those roadblocks and to create flow in the field. So let's talk about this. This doesn't need to be any more than 5 or 10 minutes. It can be even 15 minutes, but probably don't make it any longer than a 15-minute huddle. Here's what you want to do. You will want a scrum board on the wall in your huddle area. The scrum board will say backlog, in progress, and done. And you've experienced this before, and if you haven't, I highly recommend you take the Scrum Master training from Felipe Engineer with scrum.org. And so here's what backlog means. These are the tasks that need to be completed. The in progress column is when you move those tasks into in progress for that day, and then those tasks should move to the completed column once they're done. Now here's the key. Your backlog will be ordered by priority, okay? And by person typically in this huddle. When you move a sticky over into the in progress, that means you're working in one piece flow, one process flow, specifically for that activity. And then when it's done, you celebrate with the team. Here's the key. If you use this board, you will be working on priorities first things first, according to what the field needs to create flow. So here are some guidelines. Make sure everybody's standing up in the huddle area. Make sure you have one common location for that scrum board. And yes, you can have a virtual scrum board on Miro or Mural if you would like. Make sure you get all the team members there. Typically, I like to have this meeting sometime around 8 or 9. That way we can make sure that your field personnel and office personnel are all there and able to meet in person. Now, if you are overseeing multiple projects and you are not an on-site project manager, again, you can do this virtually. So you'll huddle around the scrum board. The field superintendents will start and talk about their current tasks, what they're working on that day, and they will ask the team for the things they need. What help is needed in the field? So if there is a roadblock, if there is a major problem, or if there is a resource need coming up out ahead that needs to be dealt with, that will become a sticky and will be assigned to someone on the team, whether it's the project manager or the project engineer or someone else. Once that sticky is up on the board, it will become a part of your backlog, or if it's urgent, it will go from backlog and immediately into the in progress column. But the bottom line is the project manager and the project engineers will see immediately according to, hey, what did my super say? What did the field engineer say? What are we hearing from our trade partners? They will see what activities on that scrum board need to happen first to create flow. So everything either goes on your backlog or that day on your in progress so that it can be completed in order of priority. Now I will say not every little thing from the superintendents and field engineers and foremen need to be put on this board. If it's a small like little bump in the road is what I've heard it called with some of our friends on the East Coast. If it's a small bump in the road, that may be something the foremen and supers and field engineers can handle by themselves. Totally fine. But if it's like a rock, it's a boulder, it's something that like if we don't get this resource, we're going to be in trouble. Or hey, if we don't solve this problem, we're going to be in trouble. That's probably going to make it onto your Scrum board so that you can tackle it as a team. And when you go through this training with Felipe Engineer for Scrum, you'll learn that these environments are really designed to make sure we're doing first things first, that we're nimble, that we have good coverage from the team, that we're having fun and we're leaning in to help each other. And again, that we're focusing where we need to focus in one piece or one process flow. So make sure that we see what needs to happen to create flow in the field and focus on removing those big boulders, those big rocks, while your foremen and supers take care of those small bumps in the road. So at the end of the huddle, everybody should leave. The superintendents, the field engineers, the project engineer, the project manager, everybody know what are we doing today to really create a remarkable experience for the people in the field that are making us money. And everyone should know they are not duplicating work and that they are working on the most important task for the day. Then each person can go through and time block their day and work in focused time blocks in one process flow. So here's a call to action. I really want you to take Felipe Engineer's Scrum course because it shows you how to implement the Scrum system. And that Scrum system really feeds everything in the field that is governed by takt and last planner. It feeds the resources in with the office team respecting the flow in the field. So we are going to link you to that course down below, link you to some killer books about the topic. But my call to action is please get yourself a huddle area. Please get yourself a Scrum board. Please start huddling every day with your project management team on the project and start taking those big problems from the field and put them in your backlog and start working on them together as a team in order of priority to create flow for the men and women in the field that make us money. I hope you've enjoyed this. On we go.